All right, everybody, welcome back. Ready to dive into another market with us today, Miami real estate. That glamorous world of beachfront condos and, well, probably some pretty intense bidding wars, right?
You've got that right. The competition is fierce. But we're not just here for the drama. We're taking a microscope to Miami's market trends. Specifically, what's going on as of September 16th, 2024, because we actually got our hands on some fresh data.
Oh, juicy. Straight from the source. So paint us a picture. What's the overall vibe? Is Miami still the hotspot for real estate, or are things cooling down?
You know what they say, the Sunshine State keeps shining, sales are out
Oh, really? By how much?
by 0.9%.
Point 0.9. Okay, so not exactly a meteoric rise, but hey, in a market as established as Miami, even a small bump means something, right?
Exactly. This isn't some fledgling market finding its feet. We're talking about a market that's been on an upward trajectory for, well, quite some time. A 0.9% increase in sales on top of that, it tells you things are still going strong.
It's like that little extra push on the gas pedal when you think you're already at top speed, right?
Precisely. And hold on, because here's the real kicker. Total transaction volume.
Total transaction volume. Now, for those of us who don't speak fluent real estate, what exactly does that mean? Break it down for us.
Simple. It's the total value of all real estate transactions. Think of it like the total amount of money changing hands in the market. And guess what? That number has jumped a whopping 19%.
19%.
Wow.
Whoa, that's a pretty significant leap.
Absolutely. It's a tidal wave of investment pouring into Miami, and that tells you everything you need to know about investor confidence. They're betting big on Miami's future, and that usually means one thing.
Prices are going up.
Exactly. They've been on a steady climb about 5.8% annually since 2015.
Wow, almost a decade of consistent growth. I'm starting to see why people are so drawn to Miami. But what's driving this insatiable demand? It can't just be the sunshine and beaches, can it?
Well, those definitely don't hurt. But you're right, there's more to it. One word.
Migration.
Migration, like snowbirds heading south for the winter.
Not just snowbirds. Think bigger. We're talking corporations, big-time companies. They're packing up their headquarters and moving to Miami, bringing entire workforces with them.
Interesting. So it's not just about retirees anymore. Not at all. We're talking about a whole new demographic. Young professionals, families, entrepreneurs, they're all flocking to Miami. More people, same amount of land classic supply and demand.
Right, that makes sense. More demand, higher prices.
Exactly. But here's the thing. It's not just demand. Miami's facing a supply crunch too. New construction isn't keeping pace.
Really? How so?
Right now, there are only about 3,000 new condos in the pipeline. Not nearly enough to meet the demand from all these eager buyers.
So you've got high demand, limited supply. It's a recipe for a real estate frenzy.
Right. And there's one more ingredient to add to this mix. Whispers of potential interest rate drops.
Oh, so it could get even more intense.
Possibly. Lower interest rates mean more borrowing power for buyers, which could push prices even higher.
This is starting to sound like a high-stakes game of Monopoly.
You could say that.
So for our listeners who are ready to jump into the Miami market, where should they be placing their bets?
In Miami, luxury reigns. High-end properties, especially in prime locations like Brickell and downtown, those are your heavy hitters. Waterfront condos, top-notch amenities, breathtaking views. If you're looking for the Miami Vice lifestyle, that's where you'll find it.
It all sounds very glamorous, but let's be real for a second. What about those of us who don't have a Scrooge McDuck vault of gold? Are there any opportunities left for those with a more, shall we say, modest budget?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
Yeah.
Honestly. The affordable end of the Miami market, it's shrinking faster than a melting ice cube on South Beach. Prices are climbing everywhere, making it tougher for budget-conscious buyers to get a foothold.
So even if you're looking outside of those ultra-luxury areas, you're still going to see that price jump.
Exactly. Even if you're considering places like Aventura or Coral Gables, you're going to feel the heat.
So what's an investor with, let's say, a more realistic budget to do? Give us some hope here.
Look, it's not impossible, but you gotta be smart. If those areas are on your radar, consider thinking beyond single-family homes. Maybe explore a multifamily property, a small apartment building, a duplex, something like that.
Ah, so you're essentially becoming the landlord.
Exactly. It's a way to tap into that rental income, especially in a market like Miami, where people are always on the move. Plus, it could be a good hedge against those rising prices.
That's a great point. Thinking long-term, diversification, these are all key strategies in any market, but especially in a dynamic one like Miami. And speaking of which, Any predictions for what the rest of 2024 holds for Miami real estate? Does your crystal ball reveal anything juicy?
Well, if there's one thing I've learned about Miami's real estate scene, it's that it's always changing, always evolving.
So what you're saying is, hold on tight. It's going to be a wild ride.
Exactly. But if there's one constant, one thing you can count on, it's this. People are still flocking to Florida. The population is booming, and that's not going to change anytime soon.
More people means more demand, which means those upward price trends we've been talking about, they're probably here to stay.
It's all connected.
So there you have it, folks. Miami's real estate market. It's hot, it's competitive, and it's showing no signs of slowing down. Whether you're dreaming of a luxurious waterfront condo or searching for a strategic investment opportunity, one thing's for sure, Miami is a market that demands attention.
And remember, don't be afraid to dive deep and do your research. The more you know about the market's ebb and flow, the better equipped you'll be to ride those waves of opportunity.
Couldn't have said it better myself. And don't forget, everyone, you can explore more about Miami and its captivating real estate scene in our show notes. We've got links to resources and more in-depth information to satisfy your inner real estate junkie. Until next time, happy investing.